Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first episode of the podcast, initiated by Indonesia students and supported by Institute Graduate Studies, PPI, Persatuan Pelajar Indonesia, and University Pendidikan Sultan Idris in Malaysia. So we're here with the honorable guests. Welcome, Professor Dr. Raja Safinas binti Raja Harun. So it's our pleasure actually to welcome you for the first episode as our guest. How are you today, Professor?
Alhamdulillah, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for coming and to be okay and to be say yes for this invitation. So all right, so this is like a chit chat, like easy breezy small conversation. So I'm gonna ask you like several questions regarding about yourself, your education background, and also your position here and your career, and everything. So it's like just small chit chat. All right, so I'm starting with the questions about your background of studies back then. I've heard that you graduated from Exeter University in United Kingdom. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, I started working with UPSI since the year 2000. I was a teacher for 6 years in a secondary school, teaching English language, and after that I was offered as a lecturer in UPSI in 2000, and in 2002 I left for my PhD degree. Okay, that was like many years ago.
Yes.
Okay, almost 3 years I would say, and I went to University of Exeter. At that time, my husband was actually studying, doing his master's degree here in Malaysia in history.
Yes.
So it was actually a very difficult. It was a very difficult decision to be made because I was offered a scholarship, and yet he was still pursuing his study. However, we decided that I would want to pursue. I would take the scholarship, and I left for Exeter with my 2 boys. Okay. Yes, they were very small at that time. My eldest was just 5 years old, and at that time I only have 2 children. So the second one was actually 2.5 years old. But I felt that I couldn't pursue my study without them, because I'm so used of taking care of them every day and not having to see them. So that was actually a big decision to make.
Yes.
Okay, and that was also the reason why I chose Exeter. Besides Exeter being having good ranking, but it was actually a small town.
Yes, a small town.
Small town. But I felt that it's the safest place. It was the safest place for me to study and also to raise my children. So I was there actually for 3.5 years. Okay, but the first year I was actually doing what they call as the new route PhD, in which I have to take courses, like 4 courses all together, research courses, quantitative, qualitative, and and the first year was actually spent attending classes, attending workshops and whatnot. But that was, I think, very fruitful to me, because being a teacher, I didn't get the chance and do not have the opportunities to do a lot of research. So when I attended those courses, it actually helped me to be very independent in terms of my work, because I know the direction of my study, and that really helps.
Okay. So Professor, like how you maintain your time, being a mother with 2 kids in the other country. I know that
in a foreign country.
Exactly, in a foreign country. I know like your English is very fluent, and I no wonder like you can survive. But more than that, being a mother, I think it's really tough, raising your children in foreign countries while you are the recipient of the scholarship. You have to maintain your score, right? So your GPA. So like how you manage your time at a time.
It's not all me, okay, because I actually got support from my dad. At that time, my younger sister, she was about to get married, so my mom was actually busy with the preparation. But my dad, he's one of the person that actually, makes a lot of difference in my life, because he gave me the kind of support that I wanted. So he said to me, okay, fine, I will follow you for 6 months until you get to know the Malaysians there.
Yes.
And then, that actually helped me, because he was at home with my children and I was busy at the university, but I got that and I have to actually thank the Malaysians there. Some of my friends, who studied in Exeter, okay, they are now very renowned people in Malaysia. We have Prof Shahir, who's now the Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation in UTHM. So previously we had Associate Professor Dr. Rushdan, who's also the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs in USIM, and recent one, is Professor Rosiani, in UUM, who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, just appointed. So these were all my friends, when we were studying, and sometimes, we supported each other. So it was the best time, I would say, in my life, not just about studying, researching, gaining my PhD, but also, getting to know people. Who are also like-minded, and we maintain the relationship, the friendship for so many years.
All right, so Professor Raja, so I just wondering about your experience, as international students. Have you ever involved at any international events hosted by Malaysian students in the UK? We do. Okay, because actually, when we are in a foreign country, when we were in a foreign country, it's more of not so much whether you are a Malaysian or Indonesian, but we were connected, and close knit, because of we were all Islam. All right.
So religion plays a very important role. So whenever we have a gathering at the Exeter Mosque, for instance, maybe for Hari Raya, or any other occasions, Satu Muharram, for example. So that would be the time that we met, not only the Malaysian students, but also other students from other countries plus Indonesia who are actually Muslims.
Okay. All Muslim countries?
Yes.
All Muslim
countries gathering together. And one thing very interesting, in a foreign country, the mosque plays a very important role in terms of where, a place where everybody would meet, gather,
All right, so I bet you got the best score for your,
not really score, because it's a thesis.
It's a thesis.
It's a full research PhD, but. Actually, even though I had all the courses, I managed to finish it quite early.
Quite early.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful.
So I actually completed the whole thesis in 3 years' time.
In 3 years, that's brilliant. I guess because back to my degree, I graduated from Syahwil University Aceh. I have some lecturers graduated from United Kingdom's universities too. And they told me that it's kind of hard to maintain your time and to maintain your study if you study at the universities in England. The thing is, since I didn't graduate there, and I've never studied there. But in point of view, Professor, what do you think? in managing your time, finishing your study, do you have any time like to travel around the Europe?
Of course, all work and no play make Jack's a dull boy.
Wow, that's
so you need to balance.
Yeah.
You need to balance between studying, between your commitment, and also having, some sort of like lifestyle that you like.
Yeah.
You see, so but for all postgraduate students, I would say the most important thing in your study, of course, you have the intelligence. If not, you wouldn't be doing your master's or your PhD.
Yes.
So that is no longer an issue at the postgraduate level. But I think the two most important elements or things that you need to have is perseverance and hard work.
Perseverance and hard work.
Okay? I don't think anybody in this world will get his or her PhD without having to invest his time and energy.
Yes.
Okay? So that is
sweat
hard work.
And tears.
Sweat and tears.
Sweat and tears. I call it sweat and tears.
Sweat and tears. So it's a lot of hard work. Yeah. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of commitment. It's a lot of time. And if you have a spouse, it requires a lot of understanding.
Exactly.
A lot of understanding, because the commitment is the time actually spent on the work. And because doing a PhD or doing a research, is about the process.
All right.
Okay, it's about the process. So many students must have this perseverance, having to look, relook, do and redo, corrections,
revise,
revisions. Yes, all those sort of things is actually, they are common. Okay, in a student's life. So if a students, they are not motivated by the fact that is the kind of process that they have to go through, then it's going to be very difficult. Because sometimes when you attempt something, it's not always correct. It's not always correct.
It's like trial and errors.
Yeah, trial and error. So you have to redo and redo over and over again. So I think for postgraduate studies, those two elements are actually very important: hard work and perseverance.
All right. So yes, thank you very much, Professor. So we changed the topic actually. So enough for your background, your study, your career during you study at the exterior university.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about you as the dean of the Institute Graduate Studies of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. So how did it start?
Okay, actually, when I came back from my PhD, this is a continuation.
Oh, okay, the continuations. Okay.
I was the deputy dean of academic for the Institute of Graduate Studies.
All right.
So that was my first exposure towards administrative work.
But before that, you already being a lecturer?
Yeah, in 2007.
Oh, in 2007.
2007, I was appointed as the deputy dean for Institute of Graduate Studies.
Okay.
So that was my first experience of administrative work, and I stayed on until I think for almost 5 years. Then I was appointed as the Dean of Faculty of Languages and Communication.
And Communications?
Yes, for 2 terms, for 4 years. And I took a break, for 5 years to work on my fulfilling the criteria for my professorship. And then last year, I was appointed as the Dean of Institute of Graduate Studies. So Institute of Graduate Studies is always in my heart. I'm just an academic person, I love things pertaining to rules, regulations, academic procedures. But at the bottom of my heart also, I pay a lot of attention to the students, to the postgraduate students. If you look at our billboard outside the building, say IGS is a place for meaningful experiences. Yeah, meaningful lifelong experiences. Because you see, it should be a place.
Yes.
It should be a place for people is no longer a necessity.
Yep.
But it's an option. It's an option for students to be pursuing their studies. The quest looking for knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, and also doing research. And to me, when you joined, okay, the postgraduate studies, it's not just about having it, doing a master's or PhD degree and completing it. But more or less, it's more, is developing your scholarly.
Exactly.
Yeah, developing your scholarly. How shall I say it? Mindset.
Yes,
scholarly
true.
mindset, which I think is actually very important.
Yeah.
Because to me the equation is like this: 2 + 2 is 4. Meaning that, okay, if you're intelligent, okay,
3 + 1 is also 4.
if you're intelligent, coupled with just anything, you should be able to make informed, intelligent decisions.
Yeah.
You should be, so it contributes a lot to the development of a nation. And it's not just about having the degree, but you are contributing to yourself as well as to the nation.
Sure. That's really, I couldn't agree more to that. So, Professor, the experience being the dean of the IPS, and also the teacher, the lecturer for English department.
Yeah.
So it's kind of really tough job, I would say.
Yes.
I mean, I guess
Definitely, I have to agree.
You have to do two different parts, two different things at the same time.
Yeah.
With different, I know it is still in the one building or in one management, but still that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
I would say that you have to, as the woman, with a family, have a kids and everything, have a children, how you manage, this is, I'm interested actually, Professor, about the thing that the time management.
Okay.
Start from you wake from, you get up from
I wake
the
up
morning.
4 a.m. in the morning.
Every day?
Almost every day.
Wow, that's really nice.
because I think it's just a matter of sharing. All Muslims, I think spiritual, having the spiritual strength is actually very important for you to endure all sorts of challenges in your life. Okay, so in the morning usually I would do that sort of thing, some prayers and whatnot. And I think some of my staff, they are not surprised that sometimes they do receive email at odd times, you see. But usually I would tell them, okay, I have to do it. I have to do this now before I forget.
That's true. Me too.
I have to do it now before I forget. But you can take action later.
Maybe the next day.
During the day, during the day. But because sometimes when your morning starts, if you start your morning very busy, you tend to forget a lot of things. Yeah.
Sure.
So basically, being a lecturer in UPSI, and I think this is almost similar in other institutions as well. In Malaysia, you have 5 portfolios, basically.
Okay.
Teaching and learning, research, publication, and then, consultation, as well as your community work. So if you're holding an administrative post, then you have 6. Adding another one. Right. And this is most challenging in the sense that it occupies a lot of your time during the day. Because a lot of meetings to attend.
Yes.
So basically, I think you need to be able to do multitasking, and you need to be having a good team.
Yeah.
So Alhamdulillah, in the Institute of Graduate Studies, we have 2 deputy deans. Okay, so they give a lot of support in terms of managing the institute, as well as the offices. So different units. We have different offices. Offices, and they do take care of the implementation. For instance, at my level, of course, a lot of I have to do a lot of thinking in terms of ideas, in terms of directions, but in terms of implementing it, like monitoring you guys, okay, making sure that you submit your LKPS and whatnot, okay, your research report every semester.
Make sure that we graduate on time.
Making sure that all of you graduate on time. So we have offices for each of the unit to be taken care of. So they know their roles and responsibilities. So it makes it manageable, but in terms of support. But of course, I think if you're not able to do multitasking, then you will be very miserable holding posts at universities.
All right. And also, Professor, I'm wondering also about there are Mod A, Mod B, Mod C, also about our curriculum. So can you mention a little bit about that?
For master's degree.
For master's.
Okay, for master's degree, for instance, we have actually, it's not quite good to name it A, B, or C.
Okay.
Okay, because it can be very confusing to some people.
That's true.
Okay. What is A? What is B?
Yeah, what is A? Okay. What is B? Yeah.
But basically, okay, what we have for masters is masters by research.
Masters by research.
That is the one that we call Mod A. So full research, except for one course, which is the methodology course. And then we have the mixed mode. Okay, mixed mode, half research and half coursework. Okay, so that is what we call as Mode B. And the last mode is full coursework with a project at the end. Okay, so all these modes have different weighting. We know that in terms of when you do mode by research, okay, you need to have all the elements of research, very rigorous, okay, in terms of depth and whatnot. And then you have the mixed mode. Of course, you have to manage the coursework, making sure that your CGPA is over 3.0. And also at the same time, you have to plan very well so that when you should start your research, because you still have to go for the defense, proposal defense, and viva. But I think for many professionals, especially teachers, they prefer the mode C or full coursework with a project because they attend classes. Okay, they attend classes, and they have a small project at the end.
All right. Yep. Thank you very much, Professor. So also, I think that all of us are really interested in knowing that the type of lecturers here.
Type of lecturers.
I mean, like everyone's, every lecturers at every universities, I think the same, but typically here at the University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, like how do they treat the students, and also like how to get their hearts?
Okay. This is a very interesting question. Okay, why do I say it's interesting? Because you see, lecturers are also human beings. Okay,
that's true. Yeah.
So when they are human beings, you have personalities. Okay, personalities, and each and every individual lecturer, I would say there are similarities and there are, of course, differences, in terms of their approach, in terms of their deliveries, and in terms of how they treat their students. Okay, because you see, this is a very interesting topic which I really like, because one of the things is identity. Okay. We have the professional identity, what is expected of you as a lecturer, or I would say as an academia at a university. Okay, that is the professional identity. But at the same time, we cannot also disregard the personal identity.
Yes.
Your personal characteristics. Of course, I know you are different, I am different. Okay, the way we look at things are different. So, I guess a good lecturer is those who are actually able to integrate both their professional and personal identity together. Okay, some lecturers, you see, they look very fierce, but you know that you can actually learn a lot from this person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vice versa, there are also some lecturers, who appears to be very friendly, cheerful, and yet also very knowledgeable. So these are actually character traits which are very difficult.
Yeah.
But I think as long as they have the students' interests, okay, as something which is central to their daily professional work, then it should be fine.
All right. So it means that like every lecturer has their own way, like their own.
What kind of lecturers do you like?
Cheerful, of course, like cheerful and then outgoing.
But I'm sure you don't want someone who is cheerful and outgoing and yet you don't learn anything from
exactly.
them. Yes.
Exactly. Of course, like knowledgeable is the plus one. I think that's why like every lecturer has their own capability to teach and to transfer the knowledge as well as like to transfer all the kindness and happiness to the students, because not only knowledge but also to make the students comfort. I think to comfort and to make the students comfortable. It's
one thing. Sorry to interrupt you, but one thing a lecturer shouldn't be is being mean.
He's being mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's a lecturer,
how do you define mean?
Yeah, mean like they do not have. They don't see the importance of having their students. They do not keep to their promise. Like when you have appointments, you don't.
You break the promise.
You break your promise and you are not there. You promise your students that we're going to have supervisions and you are not there. So I think those are mean. Mean does not mean that you have to hit your student. At the postgraduate level.
So that's actually what I thought. Like, is it included? Is it included with like bullying? Saying something bad about the look or appearance?
Mean at the heart. Mean at the heart, meaning that not having the students' interest as the focus of their professional work. I think that's what I mean by I'm sure you have met with people who actually you gave them drafts, but they do not respond to your drafts.
Like so those are postponing until 1 month or more. Okay. Wow. Okay, I gained the new things, the new terminology today. All right. So talking about Viva,
Viva.
The Viva. All right. Sorry. So Viva. Talking about Viva, do you have any like insight, Professor, to like how to get the best score and also how to do it professionally and also with a fun way?
I think Viva is something which happens towards the last stage, of a student's journey. For instance, like when you do your master's by research, after you have submitted, your thesis have been corrected. Then that would be the time that for you to do your presentation of Viva. And I think many students are actually afraid of the Viva. Okay.
Including including me.
The fact that you have examiners in front of you. That would actually create your anxiety very much. But Viva, in the actual terms, is for you to be telling your examiners, what exactly you have been doing. For instance, this is one thing about oral and also what's written. What's written. And why there is a need for the oral Viva. Because when you write something, and because of the permanency of what you have written in your thesis, your examiners can visit and revisit what you have stated. But sometimes, not everybody can follow your train of thoughts.
Yes, that's
true.
And
what you write in your thesis. So, when your examiners come for the Viva, they have the questions and those questions is actually for clarification purposes. Maybe they do not see it quite clearly in the thesis. So they will ask you questions. So that would be the time that you have to clarify things. But unfortunately, sometimes when students are too scared, instead of answering the questions, or instead of clarifying or justifying why they are doing certain things, they keep on nodding,
nodding and pretending like they understand about the topic.
So to me, Viva is not a platform for you to be defensive. Okay, by right, when you enter your Viva session, okay, you should be very confident of what you have done. Okay, so if they ask you questions, then clarify. Just answer why do you do certain things, and the clarity of what you said to your examiners matters. Okay, because that would be the time that they assess and they said, okay, this particular candidate, he or she knows what he or she is doing.
Yes.
Perhaps I can give suggestions to make it better. But when you do not clarify or when you do not answer the questions being asked, that would be the time that it gives an impression that probably he or she doesn't really know
the topic of the research.
The topic of the research, and that will be the time that you will get yourself into trouble. You know, but my experience of attending Viva session, it's always that because you are too nervous, so you can't explain yourself. And of course, the supervisors cannot do anything, because you're not supposed to be saying anything. But you have to treat Viva as an oral examination, which the examiners have thoroughly read your work, and they want to know more. They want to know because probably it is not made explicit in the thesis.
Right.
So clarification is needed there, and sometimes maybe they do not share the same views like yours, but perhaps it is not elaborated very well
like
in the
thoroughly
in the thesis. But when you explain, then they say, so this is what you do. You need to be adding this in this section. So it's actually Viva is actually a constructive kind of platform where you get feedback. For the fact that you have examiners from other universities reading your work, so meaning that if you get through your Viva, meaning it has been validated by other experts, so you should be very happy about it.
Right. Yes. Well noted, Professor. Furthermore, mentioning about our existence here, I would say, as the Persatuan Pelajar Indonesia, University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. What is your suggestion, Professor, for us as we are studying here? As well as we are, arranging or organizing the events hosted by University of Pendidikan Sultan Idris.
First and foremost, I would like to say congratulations to PPI. Okay, I think all of you are actually a group of people who are actually very. How shall I say? Very active and showing a lot of interest in the environment that you are in. Okay, for the fact that you are here studying in UPSI, you showed your interest in terms of contributing, in terms of helping future students to come to Malaysia and to study here. I think that is actually a very proactive kind of effort, and so far I've not seen any other students associations from other countries. So I've met with all of you before, and I've listened to all of you, your interests, your activities. So it's not just a matter of for all of you from the Indonesia to get together, but it's also a a network.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you have created while you are here. You know, the synergy in terms of academic or in terms of other things, the kind of
Connection.
support.
Yeah, the support.
The support that you give each other. I think that's actually very, very noble. Okay, very noble, and actually it's very good effort. Yeah.
All right. Last questions, perhaps, Professor. Do you have any words actually about IPS in specific, like UPSI as general, as kind of promotion to all of us and all viewers out there, kind of if there is any program or kind of scholarship from IPS, Institute of Graduate Studies, UPSI, and also like how to be a student here. That's as general.
Okay. Well, one thing for sure, while you are here with us or even you are about to come and join us, okay, you must understand that IGS or Institute of Graduate Studies will always support you, okay? Even though upon admission, okay, you can contact me directly, you can contact my officers directly if you're stuck with the online admission, okay, we will definitely help you, we will assist you, okay, in order to make sure that all those things will not be a hindrance for you to become part of UPSI community, okay. And of course, while you are here with us, okay, you can see me, you can see all the deputy deans, you can see all the officers, okay. We will, as much as possible, give all sorts of assistance, okay, maybe in terms of studies, maybe in terms of students affairs, or in any other ways that is possible for all of you, okay. Now, you were asking just now about
the financial support,
financial support for Institute of Graduate Studies, for master's students especially. We have what we call as the Special Student International Scheme.
International scheme.
In which it will give you a fee waiver while you are studying in UPSI. The only thing that we do not give is your daily allowance.
Daily allowance. We have to provide daily allowance by ourselves.
Meals allowance and all, but the fees is free.
It's free. The tuition fee.
The tuition fee is free throughout the study. So it's very easy. If you go to our website, okay, you'll be able to apply it. And if you are successful, okay, then it's a fee waiver. But of course, there are some rules and regulations, okay, because in other words, when we sponsor you, we expect you to, of course, graduate on time, okay, and also to publish. But of course, with the help of your supervisors. So I don't think it's that demanding, okay.
That's actually, the regulation is common for other,
But I think it's kind of a common thing that a simple bonding between the person who actually sponsor you, the Institute of Graduate Studies, and you yourself as the
scholarship
as
provider,
a future student,
as the scholarships provider, and also for the prospective students.
Yes, prospective
is it
students.
for the masters only?
Yeah, for the masters only. For the PhD, inshallah, I think this year, okay, we are going to have a meeting soon that we actually sponsor one international student. Okay, so that one is definitely creme de la creme. So you must be very outstanding, But nevertheless, okay, we do not know who you are. So if you're out there and you feel that you fulfill the criteria, especially the research criteria, then you are entitled to apply.
Right. So I recall the experience when you actually gave us the speech on the induction day. Like last 6 months, it was really, really, inspiring. it was kind of for me, especially, oh, this is Professor Raja. I'm gonna meet at OPSI directly. Like I was kind of, surprised by, honestly speaking, Prof. I was kind of surprised actually. You were totally giving us all the vibes, all the support, and really, really nice academic advice. So, thank you very much.
A lot of people say that I am extra friendly. Okay.
True.
As a lecturer, I'm extra friendly with my students. But you see, of course, different people would have different interpretations. Yeah. But this is me. In and out, okay, over the years, I think I'm quite stable in terms of how I see myself as a person, how I see myself as a lecturer, how I see myself holding all other roles as well in this life. So, in other words, syukur alhamdulillah, syukur alhamdulillah, I'm actually, I think the most important thing in life is to do things sincerely. Because when you are sincere, a lot of things come to your way.
Do good and good will come back to you.
Yes, do good and good will come back. Because it's not people who you please.
It's your creator.
Yes, it's the creator. The person who creates you. He's seeing you all the time. He sees you, what you do, he knows your inner feelings, how you feel, which might not be transparent to other people, but it's very transparent to him. He knows. He knows all. So you see, I think also for all viewers out there, okay, as a Muslims, okay, we also need to understand our existence. Why do God create us?
As a human being.
As a human being. What is our role in this world? So having said that, okay, live your life to the fullest. That's what I would say.
Live your life to the fullest. Yes. Actually, that's also what I believe. Living in this world as the human being, we have to give like all the support, like you said on the induction day, like. Every student who needs our support, just give them the best as we can do. All right. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Applause for Professor Dr. Raja. Thank you very much, Doctor, for attending our first episode.
And thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much. You're welcome, Doctor. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for viewing our podcast today. This is the first podcast. Last but not least, jom berbagi ilmu bersama-sama.